Hey there, CAS juniors. This is Mrs. Newkirk with the CAS update, and I see some of you have gotten on Managed Back, and thank you so much for that. I'll definitely walk you through that in this video as well, but let's check things out. So, oh, here we go. It's been a little slow. All right, don't forget you need 150 hours with the 3 strands of CAS, and this should be equally distributed as much as possible, and it's over the course of these 2 years, roughly 18 months actually. So if you have not started putting stuff in, you need to do so ASAP. There will be a senior capstone project where you're going to work collaboratively with a group, and we can start that next year, but just kind of be thinking about it. I know some of you juniors are already starting a capstone project. I'm really proud of you working on some of these bigger projects that you have as your goal. There will be also 5 international hours where you are working towards helping others outside of our borders. So again, it doesn't mean that you have to go somewhere, but that is obviously an option, but it's doing something for others beyond, like I said, beyond our borders. There is a trip. I have a trip planned going to Ecuador next August. It's a service trip through Me to We. Let me know if you have more questions about that. And then obviously utilize your CAS support. Use me if you don't know what to do. Come see me. I will be having more CAS group meetings and even individual meetings coming up. Okay, and keeping up on your Managed Back. Managed Back is going to be a key part of CAS. All right, here's the process kind of laid out. You start with the self-evaluation and pre-planning before an activity begins. You create your CAS plan. You can meet with me if you have any questions. And then you also put it in CAS, and I'll show you kind of an easy goal-setting procedure. And then carry out your CAS, plan and adjust as needed. Collect evidence and report it on Managed Back. This would be pictures, flyers, anything that you're making. Emails even would work perfectly. Meet with me, your CAS advisor, periodically, especially if you're not sure if you're on the right track. I'm in 308. I can set up meetings, one-on-one meetings at lunch, or even third period, I can pull you out. Reflect and evaluate. Reflection is a huge part of the CAS program. And then obviously we will prepare to submit your portfolio on Managed Back to the IB next spring. Okay, so when you're goal setting, when you're going to put something into Managed Back, it's really, really important that there is initiation on your behalf and pre-planning. They want you to have an action plan, have some goals. So there is a process called WHOOP, okay, and I did not create this, by the way, but I'm using it from a positive psychologist who actually came up with it. So whoop, when you want to whoop something, you write down what your wish is. So for example, mine, and I need to alter this a little bit, but my wish is to run a 5K in the spring with some friends. The O stands for outcome, which is what is my hopeful outcome. I'd like to get fit, I like my clothes to feel better, I want to have less stress, I want to establish some me time for thinking and reflection, and oftentimes going out and running really helps me do that. It helps me kind of collect my thoughts and kind of decompress at the end of the day. And then I also want to breathe better. Last year I was told that I have asthma, which is kind of weird. So that's just something that I'm trying to strive for, is to have better, cardiovascular, better, just lung capacity even. All right, so then the next O in your WHOOP goals, you'll see here, it's the obstacles. What are some of the obstacles that prevent me? This is really important. In American society, psychologists have come to an agreement that we spend a lot of time as Americans talking about our wishes and our outcomes and visualizing that, but we don't often think about what are the obstacles to our goals. So my obstacles are definitely my work schedule. We just got over homecoming. You could probably hear it in my voice. I'm not feeling so great. I'm a class advisor, so that takes kind of a lot out. And just with the amount of grading and all that type of stuff, it can be kind of hard. So work and school, I'm going back to school, so that's also kind of something I'm having to work around. My family schedules, being a mother of 3 and having a husband that coaches definitely can kind of jam things up a little bit. Feeling tired and working at home. I often work every night at home, so I have to kind of cut myself off a little bit. And I'm a really pro at procrastination. I'm really good at that. Okay? Then the last part of our WHOOP goal is P, plan. So what is my plan to then overcome these obstacles to hopefully make my wish happen and to see the outcome I want? My plan is to use a Fit app. I have actually an app on my phone. I have the 5K app, and then I have Fit Some app that helps. I'm also sharing my wish with others because then people will hold me accountable. So I have kids in class who ask me, how's your running going? And it's not going that great. But it hopefully will get better now that homecoming's over. I also meal prep on Sundays, otherwise I will just throw garbage in my face because I'm too busy to stop and think about whether or not I have something healthy. I just eat crap and that really slows me down. Also, like I said, I need to stop working. I set myself at 8 p.m. is when I need to stop working and try to go to bed because often I'm too tired because I go to bed at like midnight. Haven't been doing so good on this one right here. My plan is definitely falling through, so I need to fix this. All right. So I can put these plans in place. I can actually put it on CAS if I was a student. I would, enter this in and I would put my WHOOP in there. And that allows me to read it and also hold you accountable. But it is a huge part of CAS, not being a reactionary participant, but being a pro, taking pro action and going and doing the planning. And then I can reflect, and I can reflect on this every week. Or maybe or twice a week, okay, or even monthly. But reflection is key, and pre-planning, huge part of CAS. Okay, so keep that in mind. Try to WHOOP it. I also have planning forms if you want, like a paper form. Just come see me, and we'll probably do this in class at some point. Okay, remember all phases of CAS that a student interacts with must connect to at least one of the 7 learning outcomes outlined by the IB. Okay, so here are these seven learning outcomes, and you will see this on your manager's back, and you can pick one of them, and then you need to talk about how you are trying in your goal setting to maybe demonstrate that challenges have been undertaken and develop new skills. That's definitely like with my goal. That's probably the number 1 and 2, definitely with my running goal, because I am not as strong as I'd like to be, and running is a challenge. It's something I haven't done since high school. So this has been 20 some odd years, so picking it up. Okay, so I'm going to take you to go to your manage back. If you have not entered anything in, it will look like this, and there's a little video that goes back over CAS, but here's where it's really helpful. They give you some ideas about creativity, activity, and service, and they walk you through the step-by-step process. So pretend you're Chloe, and you would add a new experience like design club, and then Richard, who is the teacher, would approve it, and then Chloe goes back in and completes the experience and adds reflections. Then Richard continues to review the students' reflections and marks up the experience. And then Richard is notified via the CAS Daily Digest of any changes, okay? And Chloe's also notified. So we are totally, in contact via Matters Back emails. It's really important to check those emails, okay? Now, Dieter is the experience supervisor. So let's pretend that like he could be a coach, he could be, a club advisor, a class advisor, whatever. When you're done with your experiences, I will see who your supervisor is essentially and send them an email. There's a way I can just send them an email and they can tell me how you did, give me any feedback for you. All right, and that's really, really important that we have that done. So if you want to add an experience, you click here, okay, and then you put whatever the name, let's say Me Too We Club, oops. Okay, and it's ongoing, definitely community-based because we do some service and school-based, okay, and it's not a project because it's an ongoing experience, but let's say you just do it for the month of October. So let's do it 1 full month, and let's just go here. All right, what are some goals? And I know this month we had, and we can back it up a little bit. That'll make it easier. So the month of October, we did the Homecoming Carnival. We've been working on several different things in that club. You would type it up here. Your supervisor would be whoever that club's staff members who's advising it, so that one would be me, okay? And then you can put in the pre-plan portion of it. That's why, like, if we're doing the whole month of October, let's say we're trying to get October ready, you put in what targeted learning outcomes, challenge, commitment, let's say collaborative, initiative, and planning. So you mark it and it would go into your file, and then that's where I can see what you've been doing and approve it, okay? So make sure you're doing that. Make sure everybody should have something in to manage back. Okay, I'm going to be looking, if you don't have something in by the end of the week, I'm going to definitely have some concern and mark your account. I'm going to flag it as a concern, and then we'll have to have further discussion. But if you are in a sport, let's say you're doing water polo, you need to put it in there, and you need to kind of goal set. Maybe it's, you want to try to have so many shots, or you want to, whatever. Talk to your coach if you need to make a game plan, whatever sport you're in, and put it in, and then reflect. You can reflect on it at the end of the week, at the end of 2 weeks, but it's really important that you have some pre-planning, that you have some goals in mind, and that you are documenting, okay? So let me know if you need any help. Also, help over here is a great place to go, and you just type in CAS. And deeply student, you have a ton of options, things to help. How do you add? How do you complete? How do you analyze? All of these are there for you to help, okay? So please look at the resources you have. All right, I'm in 308. Let me know if you need help.